podcast. On my podcast, we are talking about haunted stories. I like a good haunted story. You know, some of us, we don't like talking about it. Like, I actually experience real hauntedness. So y'all know when me and my baby did our Halloween podcast, we talked about some of the experience. And a lot of us, and a lot of times, we'd be like, don't want to talk about it, don't want to say that it exists. So we rather, be like, yeah. But I can guarantee you that in life, most of us has experienced something that's haunted, but we prefer to say nope. Because I know people who would say, oh, I don't care about that. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus. And I'll say to them, yes, that's a great thing. We all believe in Jesus. We all should believe in Jesus. But it exists. Are we going to deny that it exists? Or are we just going to sit here and keep saying we believe in Jesus just because we don't want to face reality? So now they have, someone actually put me onto it. It was like they have like like ghost stories on TV. So I'm like, really? So they have the haunted hospital, they have the haunted, they have ghost stories, they have celebrity ghost stories. And I be listening to these stories and I'm like, well, give me everything because I want to hear, the experience. So one I found was the guarded haunted experience at a hospital. So a former security guard at a hospital explained that one night they encountered a doctor in the surgery wings who didn't respond to their greetings. When the guard later described the encounter to a veteran staff member, they were told that the surgery ward had been closed for hours. The veteran staff divulged to the guard that the doctor they had seen was likely the ghost of a surgeon who had sadly ended his life on the hospital helipad years earlier. However, the ghost surgeon never stopped working. So that was one encounter. The next one was the terrifying night shift. So another worker shared that while on a night shift as a junior doctor, they were verifying a death when the patient suddenly launched forward while checking for signs of life. The event caused everyone to leave the room screaming. Their hearts leaped straight out of their chests. Another one, a student shared a bizarre dream about embalming her still-alive father, which unnerved her classmate. The next day, while working on an elderly lady with severe arthritis, the student experienced a chilling moment when the lady's body clenched her hand as she was breaking the rigor. Another one is a funeral home employee shared that the building they worked at was said to be haunted by the old funeral director assistant. The previous director assistant has a heart attack and passed away years prior. According to the apprentice, the assistants would mess with the chapel lights, then if called out by name, the lights would return to normal. Although the apprentice was unsure if they truly believed in the haunting, they continued to call out the assistant name as if always, and it always seems to fix the issue. Another one is a former employee working in an oncology and experienced a strange occurrence with a student nurse. After a patient had passed away, the room was clear of belongings and tidied up by the student. Later, the student came out of the room, sobbing, and told her mentor that she saw the deceased patient reflected in the mirror looking at her over her shoulders while clearing the sink area in the bathroom. Another one was working in a medical unit at a hospital one night. They saw a man in a hospital gown standing in the doorway of a patient room. As they get closer, the man turns and went inside the room. When they followed, they couldn't find the man anywhere despite searching the entire room. Later that night, their co-worker reported feeling like someone was touching her feet while she tried to nap in the break room next to the patient's room. Another volunteered the experience of a patient who regained consciousness after being unresponsive for days and said she had seen the other side. The patient told the nurse that they would meet again and that the nurse should go home and rest because she would be gone by morning. The nurse received a call at 3 a.m. that the patient had passed away. The experience changed the nurse's outlook on life. One individual described a colleague experience finding a deceased person in a burned-out building during the mop-up after firefighting operation. The colleague accidentally stepped on a badly burned corpse, which caused the remains to crunch. The remains also came up at the firefighters while it burned up arm flaring. The experience was highly traumatic and required the colleagues to seek counseling. What a tough job. We thank them for their services. Yeah, being a firefighter is a very tough job. I have to thank them for their services. One recorded their mother experience as an RN in an old Virginia hospital ER in the mid-1980s. There was two famous paranormal stories among the nurses, the man in the hat and the patient one. The man in the hat was believed to be an old omen of death, while the woman in the old hospital gown patient was a sign that a patient might go soon. Lastly, a person said they turned off the ringer on their phone while their dad was in the hospital. They fell asleep and woke up to the sound of the doorbell ringing around 1 a.m., but found no one at the door. When they turned on their phone, the hospital calls informed them that their dad had passed away and asked permission to offer some of his organs for transplants. So those are some creepy stories. And then, you have the, one of my favorite podcasts, because people ask me, like, what other podcasts do you listen to? I listen to the Haunted podcast, and I listen to a lot of different podcasts. But I don't like the ones that's really, I don't know. I listen to a lot. I don't want to discredit anyone, so I listen to a lot of them. So, you can call me here at sv76675@gmail.com. Go to my website, http://wordpress.com. You can follow me at son.9795 Instagram, social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Follow my son Sounds on Instagram. We have album up on Spotify, Apple. Follow TJVUCLAIN. She have a book called Black Girl in Orange. Follow King's Flex on SoundCloud and follow Female Reform Never Register in New York. And y'all have a blessed night.